Hi there, welcome back to the shop. I'm Cale. In this series, we're going to talk about carbon dioxide lasers or CO₂ lasers and how they can be useful in a wood shop. I've had one in mind for a handful of years now, and I don't know what I would do without it. So in this intro video, I kind of want to walk you through the basic components of what I have as far as a carbon dioxide laser. I don't want to assume that you know your way around a laser or don't, and just kind of give you an idea of what you can expect from this particular series. So I have what was originally a 55 watt carbon dioxide laser. This is one of those unbranded models, but I've had good experience with it. I've had it for probably 4 years. I'm on my third tube, I think. And at any rate, this was originally a 55 watt laser with a 55 watt tube, or 50 watt tube. I took the 55 watt power supply out and the tube out, and I replaced it with a 100 watt power supply and tube. And that gives me the power to be able to cut through things like black walnut, for example, at about, well, I like 8 millimeters. That's what I build these boxes out of. So I'm able to laser cut solid black walnut at 8 millimeters, just under 3/8 of an inch, I think, on my carbon dioxide laser. And it allows me to make puzzle boxes or boxes that have finger joints and a million other kinds of things. And we're going to get into that in this series. But ultimately, I upgraded my laser to have more power so I could cut thicker hardwoods. That's really what it came down to for me. So I have a handful of different lenses from American Photonics. They're not expensive. Once you start to collect the equipment that you need to have with a laser, it just becomes even more powerful and even more useful. So I have a variety of fixed focus length lenses from American Photonics that allow me to cut things like 2-inch thick shipping foam if I need to, or 1/8 acrylic. I can engrave on pretty much anything. You can engrave on metal with these if you spray a marking compound on them first. You'll see that in future videos in this series. So in this series, I'm going to teach you how to use Lightburn. Lightburn is just a fantastic program that is the software interface that allows you to use your drawings and send them to your laser to either do laser engraving or laser cutting or a combination of both. You can layer jobs such that it does engravings first and then it'll cut out the shapes. You can do key fobs, dog tags, chains, boxes. The list is endless, and we'll get into that in this series. So when it comes to basically having a carbon dioxide laser, there's a few things that you need. Some are optional, some aren't. Let's talk about what isn't optional. I'm just going to point because I'm too lazy to stand up. I'll put it on the screen. You're going to need an exhaust fan that gets the smoky, nasty air out of your house or out of your shop and deals with it somewhere. You can buy filters, you can make your own filters. I live out in the middle of the country, so I vent mine right out the roof and I don't worry about it. And I'll show you that as we get into this series. We'll get into talking about the components of laser cutters and laser engravers, and I'll share with you some of the insights, some of the fans that I've tried, and why I ended up settling on that particular fan ultimately. Once you have a way to get the smoke out of your cabinet and away, you're going to need an air supply. So I have an air compressor that's out in a different building with air hoses that are piped underground because I don't like the sound of air compressors in my shop. So I have a regulator on the side of the laser over here that lets me bring in about 12 to 14 psi of continuous air. That's useful in a carbon dioxide laser because it helps to minimize the charring on the wood, and it also helps to minimize flare-ups and burns that may otherwise happen. And we'll get more into that later. I have a camera in mind that allows me to kind of do a print preview of what's on the bed, and then I can move things around within that print preview to put it on the wood where I want it to go. You're going to learn more about that in this series, how to install those cameras, how to set them up, how to get them working in Lightburn, how to make adjustments to them, how to know when they're not working properly. I've had this for a long time. I've been through 3 or 4 years now worth of experience with this laser, and the purpose of this particular series on my channel is to share those experiences with you. So if that's something that you find useful and helpful, cool, stick around. Look forward to seeing you. So I have a camera on my laser. I have LED lights around the perimeter of my laser. Most of these are pretty dark on the inside. If you buy a Glowforge or one of the more expensive lasers, the Polar from Ohmtech, for example, I think they've done a better job of putting sufficient lighting in them so you can see. But in my case, this particular model didn't come with it, so I just added an LED light that just plugs into an electrical outlet on the back. Beyond that, so you're going to need a water chiller. These tubes are filled with water. In my case, they're filled with pink antifreeze because it's environmentally friendly. But anyway, that's what that box is up there. It's a water chiller that actually acts like a refrigerator and reduces the water temperature down to whatever you set it on the little LED panel. And then it keeps the laser tube cool. This particular CO₂ laser, most of them, probably all of them, will not fire if they don't have a water source connected to them to cool the laser tube. And at some point in a future video, I'll spin this around in the back, we'll open it up, and we'll do a laser job while the tube is firing, and I'll show you what's happening. You'll be able to see the plasma gas in the tube, and it's pretty cool. I'll show you how all that works later on. So once you have a water chiller connected, so you need a water chiller, you need a source of air for cooling and better engraving and cutting, and you need a fan to get the smoke out of your shop. Once you have those three things up and running, the camera's optional, but I'm going to show you how to do that in a future video. But once you have those elements up and running, you're good to go. A lot of these lasers nowadays actually come with water chillers built into them. I've had this one long enough that that wasn't an idea back then. So at any rate, I think that's it for this video. I really just want to give you a quick overview, let you know that I'm super excited to share my experiences with how I use a carbon dioxide laser in my wood shop, and I look forward to seeing you around the playground. So till next time, friends, peace, love, and sawdust. I'm out.